Hey everybody, it's your boy JR coming back to you with a long video. So you've asked where have I been? I've been. Let's just say that. So where do we start? Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
No. I like the video. At the beginning. So, BMR, before Miss Rona. I was focused on a major business deal that, you know, needed my undivided attention. So I was really focused on that, and I didn't have time to keep up with the videos and the, you know, I just didn't have time to just devote myself to YouTube. But the business was more important. So I did that, and then I had to have a minor surgery, which was kind of stressful, and it was around the same time that I was going through like a depression mode, I was just, so I had like a minor surgery, then I was going through depression, and let me tell you something, depression is no joke, and honestly, I think that anyone who needs help should honestly get it, because it's one of those things where, you know, it's just no joke. Depression is no joke. Because of Miss Rona, and Miss Rona turning the world upside down, I got laid off from work, and I was actually kind of glad that I got laid off from work, to be honest, because I was just like, I was financially stable. I didn't want to be out there in the world. I just wanted to, you know, be in my little bubble or be content. So for me, it was like, to me, I found it as another blessing, you know, that I got, you know, I was financially stable and I didn't have to go to work. So, or be exposed to that whole situation out there. So during that time, I was battling my depression. I was suffering from anxiety because of what was going on in the world. And I was scared, you know, of course. And I lost a lot of loved ones, you know, during that period, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you have. And my condolences go out to all of you who did lose a loved one during the epidemic or pandemic that we were going through. Pandemic that we were going through. So I was hitting with all of that, right? And the sad part is so there was so many people who had passed away in my life that I didn't have the chance to mourn anyone. Like it was one of those things where, you know, it was too, like, there was no time to mourn someone that I lost. Like there was just no time. Like there was one person passed away, you know, my cousin or my aunt or my or a friend, and then I just didn't have time to mourn. So let's do some math here, some basic math. I was focused on my business, stressed, depressed, was suffering from anxiety, scared, overwhelmed, and numb to all the losses of everyone who had passed, because I was just numb to it. It was just like, wow. So I was going through all those things. What do they equal? Let's get back to that equation later. Let's continue. Let's move on, shall we? I learned very quickly how to mask what I was going through inside to the outside world really quickly. Which is why I say depression is no joke, because if you need help, just please go and seek it. It's really bad. Being in a depressive state is really a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's not healthy, and it's even not healthy to learn how to mask what you're feeling inside to the outside world. It kind of scared me, that I was able to easily mask everything I was feeling, to the outside world. Nobody had no idea what was going on in my own little world, and I was ready. I'll just leave it at that. I was ready. I was done. I feel like I did accomplishments and everything. I had done things. So I was ready. And after about during that, so I was on layoff from work. So there was about a 2 month period before they called me back to work, and in that 2 to 3 month period of not working, I tried to really crawl myself out of this state I was in, and I started learning things. I started taking up new hobbies and new crafts and keeping myself busy and making things and painting. Excuse me. I started making things. I started painting. I started doing things with resin. I began to find this. I began to focus on these things, and because I consider myself, how the saying is, a jack of all trades, master of none. For me, my saying is jack of all trades, master of some, because I am a master of some, but I am not a jack of all trades, but I do have a lot of things under my belt that I'm pretty sure other people do too, but I have a lot of things that I learned in my life and can use them to my advantage. Some of them I'm a master of, and some of them I'm not. But it's that wanting to be a master of in me that kept me focused on trying to hone in and perfect this the crafting I was doing, uh, the craft, the hobbies, all of that. It just, I began to hone in on this so that I can be a master at it. So my hobbies and my crafts helped me, and the fact of me being like to be a master of some helped me, you know, to really try to master the crafts that I was partaking in, and the hobbies, and you know, it was stimulating to the brain, and it kept me focused on that as opposed to being depressed and, you know, other things. Let's just say that. And you know, it was a great stint during the 2 or 3 months, and after that 2 or 3 months it was over, I was called back to work part-time. So they gave me, I think it was 2 days, but because I'm in the union, I'm a union member, so I was getting paid for 3. I was getting paid for 3 days, but only working 2. And so I was doing that for a while, but before that even happened, because okay, so they had to give me an advance notice, of course, to let me know that they needed me to come back to work. And I was like, okay, I'll come back to work. But my thing was, I didn't want to take any public transportation. Like I was like, I am not getting on a train with nobody. Like I want to be able to just go to work and come back. Like get there and come back. Yeah, I was not trying to get on a train or take any kind of public transportation. So I bought an electric bike. So I did my research and looked up, you know, electric bikes and what was good at the time and whatever. And so I got my bike, and it's a pedal assist bike. So if you pedal, it, depending on what number okay, let me start. So if you pedal, depending on which speed it's on, 1, 2, or 3, you know, the 3 being the highest speed, it would assist you in going faster. Or you could just press the throttle, right? So in the beginning, I was doing, I was pedaling, pedaling to work. Needed some exercise, I was home for like a little stint, and try to eat my depression away, but those of you who know about depression know about that too. Anyway, so I was trying to eat it away, so I gained a little bit, chomp, as most people did, but other people, whatever. Anyway, let's focus on me, right? Yeah. So, and we have been. So I was going to work, using it to get to work and get back. But it was only for 2 days, whatever, right? So during this time, the New York City, Manhattan was still desolate. There was like nobody in the streets. There was no cars. There was nothing. Like and because I start work at 7 a.m. Yeah, they had me coming in at 7 or 8, I don't remember. Anyway, because it was so early, it was still dark outside. So I was just like by myself out there. I just felt, like, hey, I got the whole street to myself, the whole everything to myself, right? It just felt like I felt free, and like it was scary but kind of cool, So what ended up happening was I was like, you know what? Let me just start throttling, like throttling to work. And instead of pedaling, pedal assist, whatever. It's like, let me just put it on 3 and press the button and like zoom to work. And that's what I began doing. So I began zooming to work, and I began to try to beat the amount of time. So I would time myself from when I left my home to the time I got to work, and the time that I left from work and got home. And it was under 15 minutes. The 15 minutes, or a little over 15 minutes. Maybe it was like, so I think the quickest I was able to do was 7 and 7. Yes, 14 minutes. 14. Yeah, 7 and 7. Yeah, 7 minutes there, 7 minutes back. And then that was the quickest. And then things started to change. People started coming back to work. The city started to come back, back alive or whatever. And I wanted to go faster, and I'm like, there has to be a way to make this bike faster. So went on the internet, looked it up, found out how I can make the bike go faster, and I did make the bike go faster. So I was like, wow, this is really like, I was keeping up with some of the cars, and I'm like, oh, this is the ish, like this is gold. And I became a little speed junkie, not a speed junkie, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I see why people like motorcycles. I see why people like, doing things, jumping out of planes and stuff, because it's wow, it's a little rush. It was cool. Well, I didn't take into consideration that the world was coming back to normal. The city was coming back to normal. And I wasn't thinking, oh, there's more cars on the road now. Oh, there's more people in the street now. I was just still on that Zoom to work, Zoom home kick. I was still stuck on that, and really completely forgot that, the world was coming back. And during that time, I was on my way to work, and I was on my way to work, and also I don't know where you're from, but in New York City, we have bike lanes, specifically for bikes. So it's specifically for bikes, but people don't pay attention in the bike. Like people in the city they're more focused on trying to catch a cab or where they're going. They're not focused in the bike lane. And no matter, I had like 3 horns on my bike, I had lights flashing at them, like I just had a bunch of things. Didn't matter. They didn't care. If they had the headphones on, they was in another world or whatever. It was like they forgot to look while they was crossing. Like, it was like the world forgot let me speak for New York City. They forgot how things are in New York City. Like, you need to look both ways, you need to pay attention, no, they just forgot. So, long story short with this, I was on my way to work. People were pissing me off because they weren't paying attention. And I was going my normal speed, and this lady, so she was coming from, I don't know where, she was coming from a hotel. She was coming out the hotel, and she was standing in the bike lane, and then she got back on the sidewalk. So I'm honking her, whistling at her, like, whatever, doing all these things for her to pay attention, like I'm coming. So she put her foot back down on the sidewalk, and she was talking to somebody. I guess, I don't know who the guy was. And then she was like, I don't know what she said to him, whatever, and then she put her foot back on the sidewalk. When she did it the second time, I throttled my bike to go faster to just pass her. This chick walks right in front of me. Right in front of me. She walks in front of me, and then now I have to put the brakes on, and I ended up taking a huge and horrible skidding fall, because where it happened, there was grease. I guess they tried to cover up in the street, but they didn't really do a good job with the grease. So when I hit my brakes, it wasn't stopping because I was sliding on the grease that was on the pavement. And she's screaming. I'm trying to still avoid her. During all that, my helmet flew off my head. I tumbled. It was a wreck. Things flew off my bike. It was really bad. And I was like, damn, why did this happen to me? And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I know this is my fault. I know it's my fault. You know, meanwhile, her husband's with, or the guy she was with, is going to go get my helmet and the rest of my things that fell off my bike. And I'm furious because I'm like, I gave you all the signs. I gave you the whistling. I gave you the horns. I did everything. And you still was not paying attention. Like, and she said, she admitted, she was like, I know I wasn't paying attention. I know this is my fault. Are you okay? I'm not from here. Please, you know, I'm just trying to get back to my whatever. And I really wanted to just call her all kinds of names, whatever. And I was like, lady, just go, please. Just go. Because she was making it worse for me. Like, I was like, I'm ready to call the cops. Get this bitch, you know, like, no. She made me fall. Anyway, the way they do us, I'll just leave it at that. The way they be doing us, I was about to do her. But, you know, we are a forgiving people. Why? I don't know. I guess it's in our DNA. So, I was like, you know what, ma'am? Just go. Catch a flight. So she went on her way. My wounded self got it back on my bike and proceeded to try to go to work. Which I did. I made it to work fine. But, so that was like my first little incident with the bike. My second incident with the bike was, I'm on my way to work. Was it still dark outside? Yes, it was still dark outside this time still. I'm on my way, and I'm really happy, you know, whatever. I'm getting to work. And for some reason, so there's bike lanes. Yeah, as I told you before, there's bike lanes, and then, you know, the cars there, whatever. But so the cars can see the bike lane. So I saw the car, but I don't think she saw me. And I wasn't sure if she was gonna make a left or not into to get to this. You know, I wasn't sure. I just know I was in the bike, my lane. She was in her lane, in the car lane, and I was going forward. And the next thing I know, so I'm going forward, and this chick, whoop, she hits me with her fucking car. Excuse my French, sorry. She hits me with her car. Now, the sad part is, like, I saw everything unfold. Like, it was slow motion for me. It was just a slow motion thing for me. My heart was racing. I was trying to think of what I could do. So, because I was going forward and I saw her coming to hit me with her car, I was trying to avoid the hit by trying to turn, but it was too late for me to do all that. excuse me, so she still hit me with her car. I flew across, I guess, the hood. Somehow I broke the headlight with my body. I dented her car with my body. I flipped I don't know. I flipped. I don't even know where my bike ended up. I don't know where it ended up. And I'm like in the street, sprawled out. And I don't know if you ever fainted before, but I felt myself beginning to faint. And it was in the winter time, and I started ripping off everything. So I had to rip off my scarf. I threw did the helmet came off? Come off? No, the helmet didn't come off. No, the helmet didn't come off. So I threw the helmet off. I had goggles on. I threw the goggles off. I had a mouthpiece. I threw that off. I just started taking things off of me, and my coat, everything, because I knew I was about to faint. I felt my body overheating and saying, okay, we're going to shut down. And I was just like, no, I need to stay focused because I'm about to beat this lady up. Or whoever's in the car up. But I didn't know she was the lady yet. So I got myself together. I felt my body, the cooling down. Now I feel like I'm not gonna faint anymore, but I'm like not wheezing. I'm in pain, and I'm holding myself, and I can barely breathe, and I'm like. So I look at her. There's a lady who did this. I look at her. Now I'm looking at her. Focused. Now I'm focused. And I look at the lady. And she knows I'm going to beat her ass. She was about to roll the window down, and she decided not to. Because she saw my face, because I was tight. So I was like, you know what? I went to go pick up my helmet and smash her window open with the helmet. And I was like, you know what? This is gonna always be wrong, this color, so let me not do that. Let me keep my composure and, deal with this another way. So, and that's what I did. I started to try to think about what to do, but I couldn't think that much because of what was happening right here. And I was just holding this and this area of my body and trying to breathe. So I am extremely a blessed person. I'm truly, truly blessed because a man came in and I found out during my during my recovery that his name was Angel. And this man named Angel came over to me and he said, I saw the whole thing. Did you need me as a witness? And I'm like, yes, please, yes. And then he said, now I'm also in shock, like the body, I went into like a shock. So he's like, you want me to call the cops? And I'm like, yes. So he's like, oh, I saw a cop down the whatever. So he flagged the cop down. The cop comes. He's asking me to get out the street, and I'm like, I was just hit by a excuse me, friend. I was just hit by a car. You want me to get out the street? Like, you pick me up. You carry me. Like, I'm not, I'm blocking your traffic. I don't care what, like, I just got hit by a car. I don't care if I'm blocking your traffic. I don't care. You want to pick me up and carry me to the sidewalk? By all means, you can do that. So he proceeded to try to do that, and I was just like, it's not happening because I'm heavy. So he was like, please, can you try, whatever. And I was just like, dude, I got hit by a car, like with the freak. So the guy, one of the angel kept asking me. So for some reason, I don't know what's wrong with my brain, I was still thinking, okay, I'm gonna get back on my bike and go to work. Don't know what I was thinking. Get back on the bike, go to work. Keep heading to work. Even though this lady hit me with her damn car. But after the angel asked me the third time if I wanted him to call an ambulance, I was like, please call an ambulance, because I could not breathe. I was like, so it went from like to like, and it was really like, I was like, wow, okay, something's not right. Let me, he said the third time was a charm. Yes, please call the ambulance. So she opens the window and she starts talking to Angel. She's not even talking to me. She's like, did you call the ambulance for him? And he's like, yeah. And then she looked at me on the ground and then she just rolled the window back up. And I wanted to, ooh. Anyway, the cop was there already, so I couldn't do nothing anyway. So, and plus, you know what could I do, you know? She was not of this, okay? No melanin, so, yeah. Anyway, long story short, I ended up spending, I had a lacerated liver and a 3-stage kidney injury. So those two things were affecting my lungs. The kidney and the liver was affecting my lungs. They rushed me to NYU or Mount Sinai, I don't remember, one of those hospitals. I don't remember. Anyway, and I had to stay there. I wanted them to knock me out. They said they couldn't, that I had to stay awake. They put a camera in through my groin area to reach up here to see the internal damage. And the lady, the nurse was like, sir, you are very blessed. There is no, your internal bleeding has stopped, but we're gonna monitor you. And I was like, wow, I was really, 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 really blessed. I stayed there for 2 days. I recovered. So when they finally released me, now during that time I wasn't allowed to eat, drink, whatever. So when they finally released me and I came home, I hadn't really urinated or defecated or whatever. I finally was urinating, and I'm standing there and I'm urinating. And it's kind of hurting while I'm urinating. And it's hurting because blood is coming out. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going back to the hospital. Like, I'm peeing, I'm urinating blood. Like, oh my God, no. So I called the doctor because I was ready to head back, like something ain't right. I need my peeing blood. So he's like, that's normal. You haven't been eating or drinking for 2 days. It is normal for your body. It has to come out, and your body's flushing out what was in there. You had an internal you was hemorrhaging internally, so it had to come out, and it's coming out through your urine. So, he said, don't be alarmed. He said, now, if it was like 2 days, if that happened like 3 or 4 more urinations, then he said come back. But other than that, he said I shouldn't be worried about it. And he was like, and basically like, don't call me back. Expected it to be in your stool as well when you do number 2. And I was like, okay, fine. So with all that, that's where I've been. I've recovered. I'm more grateful and thankful. I think that it also put a different perspective on how I saw things in life. I think it was a blessing, just a complete blessing. You know, it was maybe like God's way of saying, let me wake you up, because you've fallen asleep. let me wake you up. You know, and it was like, let me get, yeah. It was, you know, I'm a strong believer of, you know, things happen for a reason. I really felt like, hey, you know, he's like, depressed, what do you need to be depressed about? Like, get out of that. Let me give you a dose of this. Take it out, take that, and now let's see what you're gonna do. And I was like, okay. And now I'm much better, which is why I'm back. And as you know, I share this channel with my sister, who does news. But I don't know if she's gonna start coming back as well. But we'll see what the future holds. You know, my sister will make appearances or not. But anyway, that's where I've been. That's why I haven't uploaded in XYZ long time. And I'm back, guys. So I'm back. I'm blessed. Highly blessed. And recovered in here to tell you the story. So until next time.